To counter the more important military uses for steel, U.S. President Woodrow Wilson approved the construction of 24 concrete ships. A big part of winning a war is being able to produce the materials and vehicles needed to continue fighting that war. Aircrafts, trucks, tanks, and ships are just some of the vehicles necessary to a war effort. In order to have a constant stream of these arriving at the front lines, you need raw materials, as well as the industrial workforce and infrastructure to build them, of course. During any war, it's natural for certain materials to become scarce. And this was exactly the case in both World War I and II with steel. As each war dragged on, steel became unseen in civilian use as the military requisitioned it all to create the vital weapons, munitions, and vehicles needed on the front lines. As such, production of civilian vehicles became somewhat an afterthought in the face of necessary military machines. 1. The World War I Emergency Fleet. As the First World War seemed to go on without an end in sight, steel started to become scarce, and the U.S. had an idea. To counter the more important military uses for steel, U.S. President Woodrow Wilson approved the construction of 24 concrete ships. After all, concrete was a solid material that could take some punishment, plus it was fairly buoyant and thus very suitable ship-making material. With a budget of $50 million for the total fleet of ships, construction began in late 1917. After all, concrete was a solid material that could take some punishment, plus it was fairly buoyant and thus very suitable ship-making material. 2. The McCloskey ships of World War II. During the Second World War, steel, once again, was a scarce commodity. In 1942, the U.S. Maritime Commission contracted McCloskey and Company of Philadelphia to build a fleet of 24 new concrete ships. After 20 years of breakthroughs in concrete technology, the new era of concrete ships was lighter, stronger and faster than their World War I predecessors. Built at a breakneck pace, the ships were launched in late 1943–1944 after being built in Tampa, Florida. Each of the McCloskey ships was named after pioneers in the development and science of concrete. 2 of the ships were purposefully sunk to act as block ships during the Allied invasion of Normandy as part of Operation Overlord. Two are currently used as wharves in Yaquina Bay at Newport in Oregon. 7 are still afloat to this day in a giant breakwater on Canada's Powell River. Thanks for watching.